I first started off thinking that I wasn't a great artist. And I had an inspiration, a desire to be an artist. And I went to VCU and I saw other people and how talented they were and got a little nervous and decided, oh, well, this is not for me, and decided to graduate in business instead. But somehow I was always drawn to the art world. In some way, form, or fashion, I would put these elaborate colors and textures in my office or of some sort. And I would always put art in some way, whether it was literature, in my speeches when I had to recruit students. And then when I got home, I wanted to paint everything. Everything was just a blank canvas. And I started getting into faux finishes. My favorite was plaster and working with texture. And at some point, that didn't really pan out. And as my career grew, I decided I wanted to change. Everything about my world was about color and about texture. The way I dressed, the way I presented myself, and the way I looked at people. So I decided that I wanted to actually branch off and start my own business. And I did so doing textured finishes. And I met a young lady who just kept me rolling in just expanding my talents. And one day she asked me to create a table for her. And I tried and I tried and I just couldn't get it until finally one day I did. And I actually created my first table by the inspiration of this particular client that I had. She had traveled all over the world and Europe and just kept coming to me. So I create art with a purpose. And the purpose that my art is supposed to express or do is to bring people together. I like for my art to you to be able to feel it. I want you to be able to stimulate the senses and not be and to make you feel something that's good about yourself on the inside. I want my art to get people to feel good about themselves. So most of what it is that I do is just an expression of imperfection, but it has a perfect purpose. As an artist, I guess you could say I'm self-taught. I didn't have the background. I've put many years in trying to educate myself in what it is that I do. Being at this exhibit is an opportunity for me to somewhat graduate. It's an opportunity to open doors and to allow people to come into my realm or my zone. Fool's Gold. This is the very first table that I've completed, and a lot of time and emotion went into this particular table. The base of it and the structure of it is the side of a mountain, and it represents all the mountains that I've had to endure up to this point in my life. And the river is a perseverance of how I've endured so many of the hardships and joys and pain and laughter and trials and tribulations and the coming and the going, the doubts of whether my dream was actually going to ever become a reality. And people around me that influenced my life would always say a prayer. That was like the best thing they could have ever done. So what I did was I collected these stones for every prayer that someone gave me along the way. And it became my bridge over troubled waters, basically. And so I call this piece Fool's Gold because many times people give up on their dreams because somewhere down the line, they feel like they are in fact a fool for trying. And I actually was a fool for believing, and now my fool's gold has actually become real to me.